Well, thank you for joining me for this. I am in Las Vegas right now. I'm talking to you from my hotel room after the first day of CES 2016. Well, not like the first actual day of CES, but this is more the first day of events surrounding CES. Consumer Electronics Show doesn't actually start until Wednesday, and it's currently Monday if you're watching the replay of this. Yeah, it's Monday. I got my days all mixed up because schedule is completely crazy this week. Today, I'm here with Tech Podcast Network. Make sure that you watch the live stream over at tpn.tv and follow me here on Periscope because I'm going to try to live stream some of the events out on Periscope as well when I can. I'm not sure exactly when I'll be able to do stuff like that, but it will be something that I'll be doing as often as I can, depending on our setup and bandwidth and reception and everything like that. So I'm here with Tech Podcast Network. We'll have our live streaming coverage start on Wednesday at, I believe it's 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time over at tpn.tv. And I'll be publishing all of the videos that I personally record over at the audacitytopodcast.com in my video channels on iTunes as well as on YouTube, and they'll be on tpn.tv as well. So that's why I'm here, what's going on. I want to tell you what we did today and some cool stuff that's coming and a video that you'll get to see later on as well. Today was our setup day for the booth that we have. Tech Podcast will be live streaming as well as doing floor interviews. So we set that up today. It took a while because power wasn't provided to us as quickly as we thought. Actually, I ended up leaving to go over to CES Unveiled, which I'll tell you more about in a moment. But I had to leave to go to do that, and our power wasn't connected even by then. But we've got our booth set up, a couple cameras set up, a nice live streaming setup over there. TriCaster Mini, I think, is what we're using, and a lot of other cool stuff going on over there. So if you want to watch that, tpn.tv is the place to go for that. Yes, Emily, I am keeping my hands washed, trying to wash them as frequently as I can, and I have clipped to my belt some hand sanitizer, which I need to refill tonight before tomorrow. And I use that as frequently as I can. Pretty much after I touch anything, I'm using hand sanitizer to try to keep myself safe. There are a lot of people here. CES is from what I've heard, it is the biggest event of any kind. Certainly the biggest tech event. It's taking up Las Vegas Convention Center, which is a huge convention center. And it's taking up Mandalay Bay Convention Center and the Sands Convention Center and the Venetian. I think a couple other places too, maybe, but all kinds of space used for it. It's several football fields worth of stuff. And for the unsports inclined, like me, it's a lot of space for a lot of stuff. And it's all kinds of consumer electronics stuff. This is not open to the public. It's open to press, to industry analysts, to buyers, like people representing Best Buy, for example, come to this to look for what kind of stuff should they stock in the coming year. And this is when a lot of companies showcase their greatest stuff as well as their new stuff. A lot of people here. There will be hundreds of thousands of people coming through. The security is tighter this year, a lot tighter, which a lot of press aren't happy about. Our team is dealing with it, but there are some interesting procedures, like we're not allowed to have roller bags with us. All of our bags are subject to inspection. If you don't have one of the approved CES bags that they provide, which are horrible bags. In the past, they've given us great backpacks, which mine is out of reach right now, but they've given us some excellent, really durable backpacks, and I'm really glad that I brought mine from the previous year, because the bags they give us are, you've probably seen the swag bags that are, tote size bag. They're kind of that vinyl sort of feeling stuff, and the cheap little like shoelace thick straps. Imagine that, but the top half of the bag is this mesh that air passes through, you can see through completely. That's what they gave us this year. And even the person handing me the bag was like, oh, I know, it's a horrible bag. Oh, I hate it. And that's because of this tighter security. They'll be doing bag checks. We're not allowed to have roller bags of any sort during the conference time. I don't know if this extra security is because of some threat they've received or just because they're being extra cautious. So all of these inspections, metal detectors, that's brand new. It's going to be, I think, maybe a nightmare getting into the place because of the extra security that will have to be done. But it looks like once we get into the convention center, we're secured and we don't have to go through a metal detector again just to cross into different sections. And that gets tricky because North Hall and Central Hall are connected to each other. But South, if I remember correctly, South Hall is not connected to the other two halls. So you have to go outside to go back inside to South Hall. So that means leaving the building and being checked by security again. John asked, is Zoom here? And I don't know yet. Let me check, because if they are here, I do want to talk to them. They were at NAB show, Zoom being, or Samsung really is the parent company of Zoom, but they might be here. I have to check that. But Zoom makes the handy little recorders like the Zoom H5, H6, and other great little devices too. Let's see if they would be listed under Zoom in the exhibitors. I see not there, but let's check if the parent company, Samsung, is in there. I do see Samsung Technologies. That's SAMSON. So they are there. I'm going to add them to my favorites and make sure that I can get there to talk to them too. So yes, the exhibit floor opens on Wednesday. Tonight, or today, earlier today, was CES Unveiled. And this is where a lot of companies pay a lot of money to be featured. Everyone gets 8x8 booths, so everyone's on pretty much equal playing fields. And they showcase their coolest stuff. I went there with Jamie Davis from Health Tech Weekly, and he found several cool health things. We didn't talk to all of the health places. He'll talk to some of them later. One of the coolest things I saw that podcasters would be interested in is you may be familiar with the Griffin iMic. It's a USB device that gives a Windows or OS X computer, so any kind of PC, it gives it an extra audio output as well as an audio input. And there's a really nice switch on the device that you can switch from mic in to line in, and that section or that device is really well respected by podcasters. It's a great device for adding an input to your computer, especially if your computer doesn't have its own dedicated audio input device. So what's cool though is Griffin has updated that, and it's now available, or will be available in Q2, quarter two, second quarter, as a USB-C device. So if you have the new MacBook that doesn't have a regular USB 3.0 section on it, or button or plug on it, then you have the ability to plug in extra audio inputs and outputs to your new MacBook that has USB-C only. The other cool thing that Griffin is doing is, you may be familiar, I can show you this right here. You may be familiar with Mac computers, and it just did it, with the MacBook stuff that has this little magnetic power adapter. So it just I'm not plugging it in, it snaps in. And if there's ever any kind of pressure or I trip over a cable, it just pops right out like that so it doesn't damage the laptop or rip the laptop off of my desk and throw it on the floor. Well, the new MacBooks that use USB-C, not MacBook Air, not MacBook Pro, but the regular new MacBooks that are even smaller than the MacBook Airs, those use USB-C, which is the new type of USB port. And that's how it gets its power. But it's not magnetic, which surprised me that Apple would do that after doing the MagSafe adapters for so many years on MacBooks, that they'd release a MacBook that did not use MagSafe. So what Griffin has is a power adapter that adds the magnetic connection. So you plug this little thing into the USB-C port, and then there's a magnetic connector that connects to that, allows you to connect to power then, and power your MacBook through the USB-C line, but with a magnetic adapter. And it works for anything with USB-C that would be like Chromebooks. Some Chromebooks use USB-C as well. And so you could use that on a Chromebook if you wanted to. And it was only $49, which that might sound like a lot, but think about you're protecting your computer against being thrown on the floor by tripping over a cable somewhere. So it's I think, a worthy investment for protecting your computer. I thought that was really cool, a neat little innovative idea. What else did I see at Unveiled? CES Unveiled. I saw something, I did a video about this camera that was a camera that actually has 3 cameras inside of it, and it stitches this together. So you get this ultra wide angle, 180 degree wide angle. It was 1080p height wise, but the full width of it equaled 4K resolution, but at 1080 pixels tall. And it was 3 little cameras in it pointing like 3 different ways, and it was all stitched together in hardware. So you plug it into your computer and it sees it as a standard webcam, but a really widescreen webcam. And then you could use software and turn it into like a virtual tour or a virtual reality sort of thing if you wanted to, or pan around 360 degree panoramas you could do with it, that kind of thing. So I made a video about it, but I didn't ask them the price before I made the video. The thing is basically a webcam. Well, it's basically 3 webcams, 3 HD webcams giving you this 4K resolution, very wide angle resolution. I did this video and then the price came out. $995 for this. I thought, oh, I should have asked for the price before I did this video, because $1,000 for that? No, sorry, it's not worth $1,000. Sorry, it looked really cool. Sure, it's a great product, but not for $1,000. What else was there? Any questions about CES? Someone asked, yes, for clarification, the CES exhibits open on Wednesday morning, and also Wednesday is when we start our live stream over at tpn.tv. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is Showstoppers. And Showstoppers will be another place with exclusive vendors in it, maybe about 50 to 60 vendors inside of Showstoppers with kind of their best of show sort of thing. It's another feature thing. I'll go there. And I think it's an invitation only thing, only for press. And since I'm here as press for the Audacity podcast, I can get into these things. And I don't know what kind of stuff will be there, but I will be there recording any videos. And if I can, tomorrow I'll be packed a lot lighter, so it will be a lot easier for me to quickly set up my iPhone and live stream from Periscope. So make sure you're following me here on Periscope and watch for my live streams. I don't do a lot with Periscope, but this is a great time for me to use Periscope to do these like nice little casual things like we're doing right here. And then our live coverage begins Well, we'll do some live streaming actually tomorrow night at tpn.tv because we'll need to test the live broadcasting. We'll do some kind of pre-show. We might live stream a couple of the videos that we recorded at CES Unveiled or at Showstoppers. And so all of that coverage is at tpn.tv. If you want to see my personal coverage, then follow me here on Periscope, and I'll be live streaming when I can. But if you want all of my content that I'll be sharing from CES, then subscribe to the Audacity Podcast video channels on iTunes or on YouTube, and that's at theaudacitypodcast.com. I believe it's the URL that I have in my bio here on, I don't have a URL in my bio on Periscope. Okay, never mind that. But theaudacitypodcast.com, or really the best place, everything will be posted at tpn.tv. And that is where our live coverage will be. And that will be live streaming interviews from our booth, which is outside the North Hall. And then when I can, I'll live stream with Periscope from the floor. If I see something I just think, oh, yeah, I'd like to live stream that. I have the equipment to be able to connect that to our microphone, and you'll be able to see that then live stream, depending on battery power, depending on strength, depending on my bandwidth too, because I'm on limited data now with my cellular provider, so I'll have to keep an eye on my bandwidth usage. So that's it. What I'm looking forward to at CES and why I'm here really is I'm looking for the things that people can use for creating podcasts, something that can help them in creating a podcast or creating any kind of multimedia in your home studio or prosumer, consumer level, even professional level. There aren't going to be a lot of microphones and mixers and video cameras here because it's not that kind of event. This is consumer electronics, so it's a lot of TVs, a lot of things that consumers would usually buy, not so much for professional broadcasters. That's what NAB show will be for. And I'll be at NAB show later this year as well. But there are still some podcast-friendly stuff. So I'll be talking to Audio-Technica. I'll be talking to Zoom. Sennheiser, I think they have a booth here. All of the microphone companies that I can talk to, I'll see if they have anything new or what's going on in their companies and just strengthen the relationship if I can. So follow me here on Periscope. Follow me on Twitter at @TheRamenNoodle. And watch tpn.tv for our live coverage, our chat room, our live blog over there. And yes, this is real life. Thanks for watching. Get more at tpn.tv. I'm Daniel J. Lewis from the Audacity Podcast.